Me there's a many President Mahama. Nkame Chayama MPP for a demonstration, no say.
I'm sure that something untoward could happen. I'm prepared to go back to military dictatorship as a preferred option to democratic governance.
This is a listening president. With this president, if he tells you he's going to do something, he will do it.
Yen samay fo nyina kwaba ebiem emra dwumadie so ensem bebre ene koso ewo oman Ghana mu a ya fransi ye ba bedi hu nkomo His Excellency John Mahama or ensem bia tudwa ama Ghana fo bi ebose eyensem ba ya iberam na fe akwakotie General Mosquito eye penimpa ema NDC amanyuko no ono so adi nkomo bebre efa nsensem a ekoso Nansenya akofa nsem bebre abana yebeko na fe no yakotie nsem a General Mosquito area tudwa afa dumso levi ne ho afe nso waliki information bebre quick one yebero ho nso na fe no bia aye kama baransa na yebeko sansem no so no Boahen ense odi court akoniaba baran abetodwa se Boahen awie sika bi ade aye nyapade bebre na nyapade be ya quick one yenkona fe no commander emfa enwura ho sanse ese asam na shock Ghana fo nyina commander
yeah
mamu akwabai
yeah
na wedi aketua bi ense nanse de Boahen edi court akoniaba
of course
but the question na manfo bisa ne se top politicians na NPP abreso wo munya positions akese no
yeah
wo mu se ya shase prosecutive
of course
wo mu se bi ashase dikota koniaba
yeah
but then Boahen na yebeka se onyo obia ewo NPP aban mu but then wonna da bia no ase odikota koniaba quick one yenwura mu ai
wo right we de mame na wasi na me ncha hwefora fi yen shase na ye ne nkomo kakra
yeah
right no krese kwabena Boahen oguso edi court akoniaba na obi be bisa se de obisa ya but before say you benya daje edi asem nkomo yie pa no rebata omo hia asem no so biem e wo court enti ye nie no nkomo kakra edua na fi ewura nsem na edi ho nkomo rebata ni nyina ne say after say attorney general ene ne nkrata ekopie mo court a omo ene abrantie kwabena Boahen egusu etwe no omo hia yi e wo case conference room a omo nyina ekotena say in a case management conference omo etna say na obia ahia na omadi anobaba omudwia ansa na court process no ahyase na wabra omkohia ye no ene beto odwase kwabena Boahen owia oman ni sika e de aye japade wabra one declare the asset at the time ya man appointment na sasem ne ba na manfo ahyase bi say ekwan be ne fa so a onya position a one declare the asset ya oto aso ye adwuma na according to Deputy Attorney General Justice Ramsay yeah all representing or mine e case we mu no e no kire mu se wa bra o mu share o conference na se no e no mo pese o mu prove with na japade ya owo yi na o mo de toto ho hwese at the time onya appointment no say e na ne asset esitie o mo track ye call Auditor General say onya appointment no kwabena Boahen and declare the asset te japade a owo de aban enyim enti investigation yoko any security agencies na aye no e no makoko hu ajapade ahodo bi omususu se oman ni sika wodua no e na ode aye se ajapade no ye di kan eye na efia ewo Mayfair Estate la Accra ya esom $1 million value e no eye fie ne bo se kase ye to an value no e no achi number 6 Edith Avenue Mayfair Estate la Accra efie foforo ho afi number 7 Edith Avenue Mayfair Estate la Accra estimatedly and also $200,000 afi next on the list number 8 Edith Avenue Mayfair Estate la Accra and also estimatedly $97,815 and ye if ye nebo and number 9 Edith Avenue Mayfair Estate la Accra and also so if ye value $270,000 and what and another house as how Mayfair Estate wala and also so around $150,000 here additionally sika hodwa bese $500,000 and our sign at the car in purchasing sa if you know and the last one another one a friend of Vertex Properties and no estate and a wato. Na sa estate no the writer a fear makuma 27 and a what estate in ma one house will be estimatedly a buono a $295,000 yeah. Let's just say in total there Okaboma sika over 127 million Ghana cedis and as a estate in a board as from the way a Japadia attorney general any abino state of attorney is to say Kwabena du Boahen or my sika uya or the ekoye
na sika we nyina no
yeah
papa friend Kwabena du Boahen or gidi o wiase
I write
or gidi o wiase
o Japadia menchirima nti we bi na obadwie no obeka ne mabeka kire na nyonkofo se ye papa abobra wo ye papa mo na Ghana ha omo tons asisi fia kese e wata a very sad
me say nurses ebre
yeah
o mu su kwa sanka eniema nkitinkiti bi wo ho a ye de be ka omo ba omo ne ko sika we
asem ni nyina
na nipa wa akofo wi asa sika we
wata problem se sika we ya akwakoji Kwabena du Boahen ho no say ye tam de akogana health service ya ebe solve nurse for the problem no for this year ama omo nkasa bips akwadi ba akofo botom say ye de ne kokoto a ye benye obi bako akogina wo say o the aban ni ye ne nye a political witch hunting the writer ansi ho omo kopie mo court ho
ebiem
ene eba beda di say according to investigations Kwabena du Boahen our company be a friend of Enterprise Dreams Limited na sa company a omo ton cars na according to report any investigation kire say Kwabena du Boahen on the Enterprise Dream Limited no omo wia cars e the free US and Canada na omo ba beton e wo Ghana ha here no so investigation egu so koso etinya oman sika nko na se de Kwabena du Boahen wadi according to report kire say allegedly on the company omo assign e wia cars e fra brutri na omo ba beton wo Ghana so ba jomusika e de asombuto ani nyina so investigations egusu a ekoso
na wo Canada ne USA no
yeah
wo ka the way amanfo sidi tuo esi nipa bi so ji wo cars e ji wo niema na o ye mbehyew
of course
ne nyina no enkofo bi de ba Africa ha na beton no ato no bo kete no aba beton no anya sika se tam afọ bi hu so wa mobra
asem ne nyina no right a very bad na bebia ye gyina ni. These are some of the situations that I was say as Ghanaians. Ye nyansa ne ya dwene ye tibu aka kire ye say se obi di bone na mrani ni dia ye nya na mrani ni at the end of the day Kwabena du Boahen upon sika of fire upon our or enjoy life and all this luxurious life no right one care about obia
but Kwabena du Boahen nsem yi
okay
onya sure say e be a top politicians bi na omo hyehyase de because ntimi mase Kwabena du Boahen say na won hye nim no
of course
na me hye nim no
of course
but resika esi wa wia ti monya sure say bia MPP abre so no not top politicians bi na hye na se na o wia sika ide ba
the writer ade ba ko ne say Kwabena du Boahen sika wa wia o twom ne betene ye pe amanfo sa hyase but din ka dinkumo wa hadada say in terms of corruption and scandals enipa ba ko nye
dabi
time biano a group it is organized mo trans na mo plan na mo hyehyɛ enti obi e wo security agency nim obi wo financial sector right obi e wo mampani office enti Kwabena du Boahen ono no ye in charge of national signals bureau at the national security enti na say in terms of security issues no ono wo a lot of information it is wo many dey come mabokro no a ye won krofo omo other sectors ya omo so involve zakas yasemi eye no kra wadwe your support ho omo ni obi oport and habo ho a ono omo dili na there is somebody there at the office of the president na obi ho at the ministries ye won krofo ho the writer so call all department and krofo intermediate to me me no we adwen Kwabena du Boahen ni sika ne corruption scandals nyina no ye were top politicians omo ka ho bi but obi ho a obe sacrifice the life say me molding I will sacrifice but where there or sacrifice you one sacrifice you here is sika
okay yemfi ho na enkotie nsema His Excellency John Mahama ede atudwa na ensemi todwa sa no emu ode eno wachi ena opening piani so abechem say His Excellency John Mahama ɔyɛ talk and do ɔka ɔyɛ ɔnte sɛ obi ɛyɛ nipa bɛ na papa ne kan ho asɛm quick one yɛntie mmra.
We took over, confronted with several issues, but we were under no illusion what the problems of Ghana were. And so we came prepared to make the sacrifices to tackle any challenges that we were facing. One of the major issues was the issue of democracy and governance. We'd been practicing this democracy since 1992. And in 1992, when we adopted the constitution, there was a lot of excitement. There was people were happy that finally we were leaving the turbulence of unconstitutional rule and coming into a democracy. And we all believe that the dividends of democracy will see transformation in our lives and prosperity. Several years on, if you looked at most of the opinion polls that were run, especially Afrobarometer, it was clear from those polls that the confidence of our people in our governance and democracy was waning. And indeed, in one of the surveys they did, there was a very good, significant majority of people, up from previously, who were prepared to go back to military dictatorship as a preferred option to democratic governance. And so during the campaign, one of the things I said was that this probably is our last opportunity to restore the faith of our people in democratic governance, and that if we don't get it right this time, I'm sure that something untoward could happen, either civil unrest, and civil unrest is even worse than a military coup, because when the people lose faith and they decide to make the country ungovernable, it can be a worse option. And so we came with no illusions what the people of Ghana wanted us to do. And we have started doing that to restore confidence in our governance and democracy. And that's why I set up the National Constitutional Review Committee to look at the 1992 Constitution again and bring all the source documents from Professor Mills's committee, the Fiajo Committee, and then the Chairman Sabonsu one, which President Nana Akufo-Addo put together, including the white paper that was issued on the Fiajo Committee and the recommendations of the Constitutional Review Implementation Committee, to bring all together and do one more validation to see what our people expect to see in their constitution in order that it becomes a living document for us. The other that we spoke about before the election was that we wanted to collaborate with funds like the Teachers Fund so that governments can also make a counterpart funding and add it to what the teachers have. And then you can have your members apply for housing. We'll sit with you, do the designs together, make them, in Ghana today, when you say affordable housing, it ends up being, more for the wealthy than for the poor. And so I call it low-cost housing. Achampo used to call it low-cost housing, and they build so many of them all across the length and breadth of this country. So if we can make provision in the budget for a fund that will be a counterpart fund to the Teachers Fund, then teachers can apply to own their own homes. And so we would go in and build it for them. And if they have a working life of, say, 15 to 20 years, it is possible to deduct, monthly from their salaries, so that by the time they are ready to go on retirement, they own the house and they don't have to go. They don't have to go and quarrel with their families about whose grandmother's room was this. It was my grandmother who built this room and all that. We believe that they should be able to retire in dignity. And so it's something that the Minister of Education will take up with you so that we design it. And then maybe from beginning of 2026, when we come for your big meeting, we should be able to announce something big for teachers to celebrate about.
The word honorable is normally used for MPs and ministers to remind them to be honorable. That's why I don't accept honorable. That's why I started life as a people's teacher at Ahmadiyya Secondary School. And everybody is who he is because of a teacher. And that's why we have to look after our teachers very well, pay them well. I think Canada has set the example that one of the best teaching jobs, one of the best jobs you can have is being a teacher. Here, we tend to underpay our teachers. But with you, as a listening president, and I was happy when they were coming and said, well, let's go and talk to the president. I said, with this president, if he tells you he's going to do something, he will do it. Somebody told them he was going to give them 10,000 houses. They got 0. And I told him, this is a listening president. And Mr. President, as I've told you before, of the 35, 36 million Ghanaians alive, you are the only one who can reset Ghana for us. And I've been talking to the other people on the other side when I put on my political hat, that all of us have to make sure democracy works and support you. Because if you fail us, this is a historic opportunity for Ghana to get on the right path. You are the right person. You don't need the voters. You don't need your party. Do the best for Ghana and leave a legacy for us.
His Excellency John Mahama.
Of course.
But then, Papa Piani Sama, also added to that,
yeah.
And say, I catch your attention, pa.
Of course.
And say, John Mahama, a token do president. But Nipa Obona Kutie, I think, say, another than Kufuado.
Yeah.
And I'm a boy.
Right, I could hear him, Nura. And Komaya Papa Idi. Straight away, and another assembly walker because Nanado Coches Abon, the Boshana Memono, Nature or car, then there another rocket, and no Quebecas and Yakutiabo, I have some Panaoka, but as some no correct in Trisebi,
and to Sebi,
and to Sebi. Tiwedia, I think, say, what didn't come out here, but in one way or the other, the third beer, Ushana will be. Said your yen in Yaman Koyi, now that told you to say, oh, Yene Koya, now man for Boabaswa. You take it as advantage and as a plus. Now the coin, very good.
But Mampanin Koma with D and say me no, in himself Obabi Rum.
Of course.
But Edin kind on our democracy was sem.
Yeah.
And medical cassette say yan to 2 years near Mompaye. Now Omayan Koso this time one. And say John Mahama. Now women fan say Ophelia. Ebe harding. The baby I make a so what I say. Sir John Mahama, a failure. O my neighbor.
What I met say.
Young Bompire no mine and Coso. We are MPP, you can a Bompire of mine be ye.
Dear ma, me just ask him with two. Now I feel like it is the right time, say. You're very setting a lot of things in the country, and they say, yeah. O my you woman. Right, and you're being team. It is natural. Nyame na yes I say ahana wa boy ahana wa maye free until we have the privilege to come from Ghana until obi ntimi nkyere ye de yenye ya na edi e hobara asem ne say nipa baako ebetima afakwati kwan asisa sika gunu bottom just because you see ye nyina na just ye obi ba ne di yeso nya mperifo de da ya no said ye be ya ye betima develop asunje be ya setre be ye kama now with all this idea ye nyina put it up together no Obi say we take advantage of the situation. Or the ye time. They said ye neye kwa kwabena du bwahidie ya. Right, and you know the best thing they say. Brebra mama ni ama. And the more kweti no obi amfa ne ho. Right, that is the idea sometimes. Ghana for bi to no mo hwe. Kwan ya amanfo do man ne fa so a idea ba obi tirim no. But asem ni nyana say right, say ye benya in a democratic way. Na ya first way develop oman no. Na asumdwe ho, na development because oman nempe.
Oh yeah.
Everybody is interested.
Obi ape. Ena kwan Ghana for fa so to abama NDC aban this time no. Na echese Ghana for ani abre.
Of course.
Ena ni padodo na lose interest our democracy mu.
Yeah.
And this time some fadia Ghana for ahwan asembesi.
Right, asem ni nyina ne say election where I acquire now say amanfo put to their last hope in democracy on President Mahama. Say President Mahama obe failure. Democracy a failure. Today say after 32 years of democracy we are not going to follow democracy. That was the idea. Na she Ghana for bitrem. Enti ne bebe ejina. Na what nyina ya adwen say mampini no ebia we shall say right there, but we will not get all things right. But as somebody say, constitution The bia because it is not perfect. Now it will be perfect and so that. It as at that time I share mrano. The right I share the current situation and not you wom samreno. And you say emra we anywhere near the bar. A favor your situation not changing. As at that time. And your man a question, and you know, a question. The right ye free military room and about democracy for. But in the democracy, I am very stable. Obian should be passed at that time. They who shall go for and now Obian so be able. The right straight away. Certain things must be changed. Say a change. I agree. Constitutional Reform Committee. Yen said here. Omote omo provisions are omo kwa kwetwe omo de ba say to asumu a yenyintum ensesa constitution
yankon komo ho from ampani die because an say e won hia pa
well director ade ba ko a Ghana di bia hwede se okonya adwuma na oya at the end of the day adwuma na oye no ne bre nyina enkwa wiye a okọ pension no obetimi de ne nsa se meja pade a adwuma be ye ne de ma amenie at the end of the day betimi de abobra ya mi benya baabi edimiti ato
ensame beto dwa no wona cha de no womani ajepa
right womani ajepa
because acheche for my Ghana mu mi ankasa me sisakwa kae o nurse ni o se aya na teacher for de osumo mu because o maketua ni swa
of course right there ema ade ne yare ho ne say so share situation e wo man ni mu na right in terms of abayadwumefo no obi e play the role it is omo play omura they deserve to benefit and teacher for the ye ka kodu a situation a right ye won krom bebre ho a police station ni ho right military barracks ni ho hospitals ni ho I agree but some krom ketenkete na e dan 3-4 penesi ho a abayadwumefo ahodo no omo offices ni ho no school dan dey si ho teachers ko ho ebo okura school dan ni ho ya ba pata teachers have to go there and teach you teacher for mutwa kwan fa kokwazi ete hasuo ansa no makokro a e wo so mokwa chadum no makwa kwachira de nti bosume besono on the salary ni nyina be faka okosi odibia nante ebi mukura tompa boane ntade e de ma school for the books a bosume besono no must spend almost salary na bi it at the end of the day Sabani Susu say contribution of teachers in the development of Ghana no say very important say the I agree with the government man penny idea very good the matter more teachers no now a day who will be almost so person they should come up with a plan to a teacher here you go and choose plan now penno now by yes dine at Yamao said ye United say brutally utimi corner Yamao dine or Yatama na ye trying kakran the teachers in their lifetime na abai no etua no ejijisika no kakran no ditua I think say with this no the better e be there because obe kaya teacher training allowance nursing training hours in command edi no incentive package na amanfo nko nursing training amanfo nko teacher training nti en fa ala wan metaro he de tare ho a nkrofo beko e ba ye na mpa nkrofo ko so ma ye mabu so right after that adwuma no so e bi se hyema e be ko ye very good. But someone so a bar. Right, they should make sure say at least a bayer in the right process Ghana for toda is somehow controversial.
Okay. Yemfio na enkotie Aseidu Nketiah mra. Commander, Aseidu Nketiah nkomo no emu ode. Na obisi Aseidu Nketiah utie no a wani hada. Enti quick one. Enya motre na entien sama ori tu dwa. Minim se emi bi wo ha yenya video ni bi ahwe. Baran Yansen Timra na Yakoba and Komobiwa commander Eddie Nina Mahefo.
Honorable one city levy once a maba. I am a day, which the movie and Tiasia. One city. Yes, they are called to petrol, so they are to diesel, so I am then I walk home. And Tiasia the same.
Many President Mahama. Nkame twenya ma MPP fo aye demonstration no say petrol bo na ho no wo mompe so ho ya DCC amanfo nti demonstration no ko na wie ya na nwumre no ne di petrol bo no akoba bia na MPP fo ye beto so pe say we listening government
rather young. I'm sorry.
Because I don't know, you have 217 per liter. What's here and yet they are as low as 12 for them.
Maybe crack on 10 star 10.
What's here and no yet, Okoya who demonstration. So per se, you 17, what do you know?
In the uncle,
do you Yanaka, they are 17. Nature say, listening government, Yati will be asked and prepare demonstration, Maka Yati, at the Bay Juma. Because at the Bay and Ajuman asked me. Moma Boka billions. A war energy sector. They say more yet a pricing electricity pricing formula no. Sika namude to diesel any crude oil yet the power energy no thermal plants no bi no. Eno ho ka kura de mu mfamfra mo formula no because wo di bamu a ye be ka say wo be ko election enti electricity tariff akosoro ye be to ati amenti memfa nka ho ye mungu ho obi be ba bitua ena no be say 3 billion gu ho ena de wo so aye a 3 billion no danche no kura no sesi ya de ye ran no kura no osumi bia wo
e kaeba
billion so e wo ha eba enti ye wie so wasan sori abejira ho se ai won se ye firi ho na dum so eba na kana obogu ho no e oh pataku ko na sifie na okodi bone na o dani firi ho enti obi fra kura na ase ebe to no no se wo ba na de asem na na wo mo
wow wouldn't the wire
go
yeah but to akwati fe
wo ba na de asem na wo mo kan wo mo chi
de o ye na
no an ye ka so enti e kai gu ho eno pa ho a sa millennium challenges kasemo amoye eno so ye mpompo da ho ye nyam ko ho nkura ni nyina ena sa importation of cables no ne manema chese ye nhia kura na mutimi import gumu sa e ba yentimi nton yentimi nkle kura na muguso a mo awodo contract a ye import bi gumu se no so wo ho a ese be kan ye nyam ko ho kura ye pe ena ye tria ye yie anhihye papa nti ama dollar no a ye de ekoto crude na ade no dollar no bo abafom ne bo ba fam yi ena ama because sa exchange rate no eka formula ne ma ye consider crude oil no price exchange rate enum nyina ka ho ne etime determine price enti dollar boy ba fam no na che say briefing space wo ho a yetimiti petrol no so na yete so na yeko ne yete so ne yeko ende aka say petrol ye 17 aba say abedru be ye 12 ye wani da so say be san kofom biem enti yemfa 1 cd ento so ye jeje a ye de akwa kotua eka no so amobọ no wo enkania ho no na enkania betiman rane petrol sem betiman rane we betiman rane a eno bone ayaye ne sei ana sa 1 cd no se driver se wo maimu ni passenger fo nyina wo ka se wo monto abanchu su se Ghana enkania nyina bedum na petrol bo be 5 cds ya wo ha de wo hina nka wo mechu su driver no ko adwuma ba o mafie o yare koda hospital anya kanea na ye de be no operation
exactly
enunti no se uni mama mu aka se minima mamu ba ye de wo mo ye no te se de asif se 1 cd no ye jeje a na de akogu president Mahama botom ye jeje dia solve kanea no so problem ai be magana fo anya kanea a ejina so na yasan anya petrol ne bo eno nso eye manageable sa na ebu oman enti oman no sika edibu oman no eye oman no musika na edibu oman no president bia ni magic so okofa sika bia free baby o but say obi bebu man no ye ne de wo mu no ye no ejina wo priorities sika no nie enti min so bibibia enti de ohin ne de ohin na obeye no kane na de ohin na obema na twen enti abanya wuntimi nye sa prioritization no eja se wonya aban papa na yen de enim se energy hono kane anu begina so no eye priority petrol bo ye priority but ye try ye anya ba bi aso ama petrol bo no e ba fom anti se bi ye betimi ayi bi e de akosolve we ni anya petrol anya kanea o se enye se enye dia eche se wo bo no a o ja no ho no na eye mebo a 17 no Konko ye mu demonstration ade a chia na de ye say we are a listening government ye de ade na ko 17 so ana sabi ye nuanu ma driver fo a na nka wo mo ekotum futuro agu wo mo ani so se they say one city no ebe ha manfo one city be ha manfo passenger for sabin previous and wo mo num petrol
passenger for mo num petrol
no aka say petrol no bo aye de nti passenger for ha wo mo the passenger for ye ne say obetena car mu a ahyentu adobo
ewo form simple say so ko form
enna driver so ono taxi a eda petrol no so no enye no ne ha no petrol bo a auto no
ebe ko form ama
eno ebe ko form ama no enti se taxi bi wo na stay petrol bo no ko form a wo say driver nko demonstration say on demonstrating na bo no san ko sorana
ya de to so ade ne ba form
ba form wo say chenchina ba form kura ato no de mpese yi free so enti yenyi free so say MPP wo na sa ato no say eni ho a okay yenyi free so na ade no san ko soro ne enti wo hwa enti asiye nim na afa so unim de ye mentan kura wo sa MPP fo ne ye we hu ne say da bia wo mu jaka wo ho na yen ya ba bebo yem belt ne akwa koreti sa ne manua eye se ne ma tuto na kwa mu a ese gala we mo nko ne yakotra ba bi na o mo ansan ba na o mo ansan be se ade no abruka na gu ho ebrebi so ya dumso no ba e na ka se e kana eda energy sector institutions no mu a e wo ho no eso enunti no sector bia ewo challenge ECG ewo challenge VR4 wo challenge independent power producers omu nyina ewo challenge enti ba bia aka wo ho na omu eye transmission omu gridco ho so challenge wo ho na ka se sesiase nya skat once kura no a why de ne ntu aka ne utua baako no ntua baako a system no nyina enrane enti yempeto obi na sika ebetoto no mu no bosomi bia na ya cheche no according to some formula grid co for nya kakra ECG for nya kakra wenmu nya kakra wenmu nya kakra ena yebu nkontan na ka se energy sector levy ya de ba yebu akontan hu se emfie num pepepe ye betimi ate sa energy sector ka no nyina firi ho eno ne ka ne de ba nti eno ne gina so approve esla no e de to ho nti esla no am say running for I think 2 years pay or so ye free akonwa so na all these energy sector institutions because of impact of esla no na ebia ayi balance sheet ayi blue ya ka accounting mu blue a che say mfaso kakra wo ho red ya na chese kada ho enti e free sunu na obia wo blue kakra na chese enso de ba ne nim se anamo wan yetu no ebeboa ma ye energy sector na gina ena ye ko yenso America forecast say won be ma esika na yemfa moa ye development no millennium challenge no na na yemfa nkono na e ka say ye energy sector ho na ye bottleneck ya hinda ye economic development enti no sika de ba no nyina $500 or so million no nyina no yem pumping ko energy sector no yem fan strengthen energy sector no na nu gina ne nan so a all other things factories no ne manema nyina ebekoso enti na ye target eno so ye ho nhihye ya nwie ne efra konwa so wo mo ba abode sika bedwa 500 million
o ma jedi
eno na wo mo koye ya wo mo form companies ni ba umianom koye ya ho asem edru ba bia America for no ka say na mo ye no dia sika no dia aka no ye famba no more than 100 million America for asanfa o de be che kwa onye bosia
o ma say sika no 100 million na ma
100 million aka no ene a kire no ebro 100 million o say mafa ye diskache mo kura munni mun kontambo se mo be ya ma mfaso abaso mo chiche didi a eno so ya America for taxpayers money a mo hwe wo mo akontan so yi enti na nka ye de bremo na se ye de be che mo na mu hunu ye de aya fa ya de se si aye guso a ye de opani Trump yi edi hu nkomo se abaya sesa enti de mo de che ya mo ka se ma ye no ye hihye sector no mu ne ma yi enti ebe ya nka esremo amonsan fa meche na eno so meso ya sen na intimi na
ne Trump obe de
eno nti ejenundi
ujinudi
enti mo ba ye beto sa de so kokama mo si sa na tie de a ye de sa esla no ebe kwa akosi awowa ne de agibosia de abeye bibi foforo ena mo de sa foto no kosi awowa se bosomme so na se sika bi ebebam bia no mo de kwa akotua kafo no kwa ena se mo ye no kra na sika mo de ko pay no mo de betia energy sector ka no a se nka ne ahu se moya ade ye timi diska aba ya nim ade atua ka na afiri ho enu nti energy sector gina ne naso ukoji bosia no a ama energy sector hokra ena mudi koye bibi foforo enti Ghana fo guso a ye tua saa esla no a wo munim se ye tua de ate energy sector muka enso eba na ekotua ka foforo bi wo baabi ena ma saa ka twitwiri die nyina mobo agu ho na trom okwadu mu de moko enu na ya ba ya si no yemfa wansi dinka ho ne na ne ayi no na even ebe ya minister no kura nkope kwai bi so na yentua eka na esla no mudi akọ di akagiramu no yempe kwai fufuro bi so ntua sa aka no na esla no kura meboa na intimate energy sector ka no mfiri ho no osi mukoko apai nti wa wase ya de no uko ayi atifi eko hunu nsu a no aba nanfo abebisa se na de na asi anoma kokone
wala pete ku edura kontifi no yaro obisa se mo banande
general mosquito
of course
and Aseidu Nketiah nkomoni mo de
yeah
emo de papa and then se enka mampani betiase na oman Ghana enyina betiase a enka yenya ne sa
director yeah semo
yenya ne sa se kan no so babuawo
director ka ebe yi pa yenya ne sa for 1 month na yenhwe nkomo e besa akoso system say yet is afedie amanfo atiase the two situations no go ya ahudie ebeboa na ofia san reverse atie
but an unim bibi
okay
memfa ne sese no yese ye de dumso levy eba
yeah
Ghana for ye nyina ye kebise o ye hu bi da mampani ka se tax no o ma na mmori so
yeah
and 5 months here no the tax SN be benti ye kasetia. But then yan hwa de bi wo ha say ye bo mampani so bo se oba bia no adum so saba. And then ye nyina nim se 2024 na dum so no wo ho. Ena endis for be inherit ye. Ena omo se obo so omo solve dum so no. Nti age se omo de 1 cedi eto 1 liter bia so. Na omo de kotua ka eda ho no se de be ya. Oh my Ghana ekombe he hae. Enti yemfa ne mienu. Yentua 1 cedi ni enya kanea nam. Ana se yentua 1 cedi no na kanea ni ndundum. Enti MPP for no so take advantage. Say omo the pressure ebe to aban no so. So that be a Ghana for be kabi na 1 cedi no. Wo muntimi nyije. Na dum so no be ho say that be a 2028. Omo be kase yanka. Mahama de o de dum so abo. Enso no omo na kreti dum so no.
The right dum so asemi.
Ana
dum so asemi. Na me hwe video bi ne. Wa bra na po ene board members omo ECG call otumfo ho na po eye energy minister. Ena otumfo de to na po nim say light no oto wa asisi ano madum no. Na ma so no madum no omo sai ne niema. Ne fridge ne niema nyina asema na dua ne ehyem nyina asai. Enti omo hwe no omo nya hu bibi. Enti na asema mi bisa mo say na po ye energy minister ena one ne board no ko tumfo no tumfo kasa se meaning say light no na na say ye drum ya ne aso ye drum ya ne aso na che say drum so na no enti e horon kwa tells Ghanaians say drum so no under MPP it was there.
Oh yes,
no debate about that. But Aseidu Nketiah argument no baby na ye bitenie o say MPP for na omodi if no say fuel prices no 1 liter cost 16 cedis ne 17 cedis no yeah amount man farm 12 cedis no omumom na e ka kire Ghana for say 12 cedis na ndisi for say yeah the 1 cedi come na 13 cedis ne board dodo but at the time I know 16 cedis ne 17 cedis no MPP for say fuel prices na na do manage the year pa eye
awraho
the writer the same person nipa bako at the end 16 cedis nipa kro ne say 16 cedis ne eye o manage pa obi for fra beje ade no 16 no wetima boro ho de mana ba 12 and o say nipa na no de ade na koda 16 no wa say je ka MPP for an enso gitum say e ka da energy sector etiem fa 1 cedi nso so na nye 13 nipa kro na oja ye ka energy sector no ya wasade ade no ko 60 a obi di ba 13 no nipa kro si boy on ties obe demonstration
mbo me nya sai
ente say yenye ni in a simple way me as Ghana ni amte idea binim say patriotic Ghanaians no omo agree with what the government is doing but omo share political lens no me party akata o mani no omo na ka different story enti yenye ni say the right say uchi to me say oh dear the MPP for can you agree with them aban way and managing fuel prices ni ye opese obi ye koma the right yen chemu mi no ene okwa fuel for no fuel stations no mo betima bisa say open MPP for fuel ni bi and open DC die ni bi it is open MPP die na na atom of 17 cedis 1 cedi yen je 1 cedi fa ma aban fuel station atom of 17 so mo fa so say open enei aban ni die na opese e di bi tua light ne kana na omabua ma 13 cedis nti e ho no ye behu se MPP for na ekobufu na ombebu 13 cedis na so ombebu 17 cedis there are this certainty say say asima means e to na bia enye politics ensinchen na ye reason kaka right common sense be ka kire say ade we mi kwotua 16 ene mi kwotua 13 wo se chenchira 13 na sa do so do mi hwa we pay 16 asem right to na bia wo be ka na o ya kwa ye se ukopiem obi achi
ukopiem abruchi a tax omutua no
right ena if
masasa tax na ne se ilevi musu ya
right ena even with this no ade ba ko a ye be ka ho asem ne say 13 cedis ya ye kan se dross ye dey to 16 no enye no kwanwie ha o omo na omo cars omo yusu fuel cars no na omo tua emission levy
oh yeah
right the same Ghanaians ye nyina na ye tua levy the same Ghanaians na betting tax ye say tua into sa taxes me say we nyina eni ho and the fuel prices na say 16 17 say ba 30 a edi bi ko tua ECG country right away kra no anka ye 3 in 1 package because ye yi taxes no every ho no imagine say 1 cedi we no ye fa say ye emission levy na levy ni betting tax no way fuel prices and right say ye politics and sin na ya try say you be the right thing you be collapse o man MPP for na nkasa nim say energy sector e ka o maja wo ho Any a car ye as Ghanaians, you know. Say you take a strict measure bia. I dear bet your man people say to and Mampany, this is the right time. Also it will be because exchange rate in a favor time be anywhere a best time change. But at the only time Ube to my judges can be a free Ghana ho. Ghana for this time because exchange rate in favor. And he said because we'll be 2060, not because of exchange rate in it, but to offer. You can take advantage of that and add one city. Yeah, the panel at least or compared to the na old trader dana obey still at least obey relief kaka. Say enye biakrano and to say canino. The writer, then I am more when your mind I yet but say the politics echiri anima. O mind ye. I agree with Aseidu Nketiah. A perfect submission. He is on point.
Yam 5 was here. But then ye call. Ye ever some was here. Yakar Fujina.